Jeg starter.
Okay, we're here today to talk about green economy and energy, and we're here with Emilie Turunen, an MEP. And if you could start describing yourself and what you do.
As you said, my name is Emilie Turunen. I'm a member of the European Parliament from Denmark, was elected in 2009 as the youngest member. I'm Vice President in the Green Group here in the House, and as you can tell by the name, we are the front runners when it comes to new energy and when it comes to transforming our economy into a green economy. So yes, that's basically our aim. To get Europe past the crisis in a better way when it comes to environment and also socially.
What can we do to achieve this transition to a green economy?
I think we can do much more. Today we keep continuing in the same track of all dirty politics. So I think we have to understand that right now we're building a big bill for ourselves basically, because we import a lot of oil and coal from outside Europe. This is already a minus in our balance, economically speaking. And also we'll have a bill that comes with climate changes within the next 5, 10, 15 years. We already see it now. Even in Denmark we had summer rain that has never been seen before with huge damages. So we'll have a bill coming up, and if we don't manage this transition, we're pretty much lost. And I think what we can do is we could start going from 20 to 30% of CO2 reductions. We could make much more binding energy efficiency goals. We could invest better in energy infrastructure, smart grids, to make also the renewables profitable, to make them market profitable. So I think we can do really a lot.
What is your role as politicians in achieving this transition? What can you do to help us get there?
Well, I think politicians should be leading this transition and really guiding the market, because the market will not take us there by itself, unfortunately. We can of course use the market and create incentives for market players to develop better cars that are more resource efficient, better products in our everyday life that are more resource efficient. But politicians have to take the lead, and we are missing out on the lead right now. I think most politicians, because of the crisis, the economic crisis, forgot about the other crisis, which is an ecological crisis, and we cannot afford to forget about that crisis. We have to think it together, and as the Green Group has called the solution a Green New Deal for Europe. So we want to invest and kickstart the economy with green investments. So the transformation would also be built into the crisis solution.
We currently have the youth unemployment in Europe is currently above 50% in some countries and above, I think, 20% in total. What can we do to lower this huge amount of unemployment and to create green jobs, especially for young people?
Yeah, it's a really bad situation for our generation in Europe right now, and I am afraid that we're about to lose a generation. We have seen that before in the 80s, and we are actually repeating that right now, and it's a huge loss for the people who get trapped, and it's also a loss for our economy, basically. So I think there is a big chance for young people to support this idea of a Green New Deal that can create jobs of tomorrow, because if you put it into a context of global competition, Europe has to consider how can we be compatible. And I don't think we can be compatible on wages and so on. Other parts of the world will always have much lower wages. So we have to have the most knowledge intensive and the most green economy, because if you are low on energy in your production, you have already saved a big cost in your production. This means we can actually create jobs and be competitive in a global level if we go to this green economy, and that will basically create the new jobs in Europe and for young people. So I see all the things going together, really.
What is the European Parliament doing to encourage innovation or creating jobs, spurring education for, especially for young people, of course, to create these high-tech innovative sectors?
To be honest, I don't think we're doing enough. Everything right now is locked up in a crisis logic where we have to cut down. because we have a debt we have to pay. But there is no one thinking about investments of tomorrow. Well, I think the Greens are, but we are not in the majority, and we are not in the seats to right now to drive this development. So I think we need more brave politicians into the chambers and the national governments, and also at the European level, to really push this. Because right now we are in a locked situation where we only think about surviving tomorrow and not really about building the future. So it would take a lot more. Well, we are fighting. We are making proposals all the time on investments in research and development, on funds for young entrepreneurs who want to set up their own business, things like that. But it's going way too slow.
Do you think, keeping in mind the next year's Rio Plus 20 summit, do you think the international negotiations will achieve this transition, or do we need help from somewhere else? Do we need, is it a bottom-up approach? Is it a top-down? How do we help ease this transition?
Well, I would never give up on the global track of the UN and the summit track. We have to achieve things there together when the whole world meets and politicians meet. But we also, at the same time, we have to have many levels, I think, working together. That also means business who drives innovation within the sectors, the educational sector who teaches about the knowledge we will need in the future. So you would have to have all the levels working together. And I think politicians right now need a serious push coming from the outside. So I would encourage NGOs, but also the progressive part of the businesses who wants this green economy to happen, to really feed into the politicians and to push them for some solutions at the European, but also at the global level, at the summits. We need some results very soon. Well, we saw the last sort of open window, as I see it, was in Copenhagen at the COP15, and there it was a big disappointment for, I guess, all of us that we did not achieve more. So it's a big work we have to do on all levels, and yes, politicians need a push always.
Well, hopefully someone will give it to you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect.